Hello, Lisa Life Coach, and it's June 9th, 2019, and I just wanted to do a quick game changer about how do you deal with the pain of loss. We all get lost. We all have loss. We've gotten lost, we'll get lost, or are in the middle of loss, or recuperating, or I should say have the pain from the loss. How do you deal with your pain? Or what are you going to do when you have that pain? And so these are some ideas that I've learned. There's good ways to deal with it, and there's not good ways. Like, I had grandparents that dealt very unhealthily with their pain, and they had legit pain, but immorality and alcoholism doesn't cut it. And when I say that, I mean it's not going to help them. It actually made life harder for them. They not only were in the cycle of pain, but they were in the cycle then of addiction and whatever else that cause. And so I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to do that. I've got to do something for this pain, but I don't want to do that. So I know for me, I'll watch a little bit of some BBC 1800 videos or DVDs, which are awesome. I like to do music. That's awesome. I like to walk. I like to do yoga. I have friends that do lots of exercise for that. That's a big deal. That's been their main thing for as they're working with loss. But for me, reading has actually been a big deal. Reading and journaling. And I don't know. That's just what works for me. And so actually what I do is I alternate mornings. I've got verses that I've actually collected now over these almost 5 years that have just been staples for me. They're awesome. And I've actually been recording them in a journal my second journal, because I don't want to lose them. They're so powerful. I've got them on my phone, and I read a few of them a day and when I say few, that's like probably 50. I'm making a confession right now. Now, I'm desperately still needy. I'm just doing what I need to do to be able to plow forward in this. I will not be stuck. I will not stay where I am. I got to move forward, but I can't do it on my own. And I've seen that the power of the word is wonderful, and it's supernatural. Okay, so I've got my little verses that I read through, sprinkle through during the day that just help me. They just help me. And then I've also got every other morning I will do this. One morning I've got, can you see it? What am I looking at? I guess I'm looking at this one. All right, this one is, I've got a Bible here that I'm just reading chapter by chapter, maybe one or two chapters, and I'm just reading straight through. And then Amazing Grace is about history of the hymns, and that was actually from Don's library. And then my late husband was a music man, so he had a lot of those. Just interesting. There's my journal, my second journal, that I'm recording my verses that are so incredible. Then I've got a little journal that someone gave me that I just write things I'm grateful for that day. Then another day, as I said, I alternate. I don't know what you're seeing. Okay. Then the other one is, here's another Bible where I'm reading chapter by chapter. And then don't ask me why I'm doing two Bibles. It's just what I decided to do at the time. Hello. And then there's a closer look, which is a really cool science book that's biblically based, creationism. And then there's these two, which a year ago somehow I needed to do some griefish books. I hadn't been doing grief share. I hadn't been doing anything grief, and somehow I needed to revisit that a little bit. So I've been doing a Book of Hope by Nancy Guthrie. She and her husband wrote Grief Share, which I consider anointed. And then Beside Still Waters is by Charles Spurgeon. It's definitely a griefish book, but man, it's powerful. I could talk about him, but I'll keep moving because it's already been 4 minutes. Woo! That's good. That's good for my soul. I mean, it just helps me. And then those are every other morning. Then through the day, at night, if I don't watch a movie, it just depends. I've got these other things. My son gave me a wonderful journal that I've actually got done I'm over halfway done, which I've been doing. And then I've just got a a blank journal that I use if I need to get my words out. I need to get some thoughts out. I'm going to explode if I don't say something to someone, and I'll just tell the book. And then I've actually got some other books that I might read. And what I've noticed is this. Somehow I can't read just one book. I just need to do one page of mini books. Go figure. And so there you go. And so I'm actually reading a page of Pilgrim's Progress, which is sort of old English, but I'm going to power through it. And then I'm actually got a gun book that I'm reading about just to learn more about my guns. And then I've got The Pleasures of God by John Piper, which was from Don's library. And it's pretty heavy too, so I only read a page a day. And then I've got a wonderful Randy Alcorn book, Money, Possessions, and Eternity. It's a big book. It's tiny print, got lots of good stuff, but it's going to take me a while. I want to take a page of that too. But he wrote a real small book called The Treasure Principle. Incredible about money and eternity. Then he also wrote a 500-page study on heaven. Wow. That is a game changer for me concerning how I view this life, the next life. Wow. But anyway, and then I am rereading. I got a book 2 or 3 years ago, The Mingling of Souls by Matt Chandler. He's good. Oh, he's good. And I had just completed the Song of Solomon video series of that. And so I thought, well, let me reread the book. I don't know why, and that's what I am reading, though I can only do like a page a day too. Then my mother just sent home with me from Indiana, The Sovereignty of God, which I thought, well, I'll see if I'm going to start it now. I may not. But the reason what intrigues me with that is how it fits in with this book that had been recommended to me by a dear friend not 2 weeks ago, I think. And it's Shattered Dreams by Larry Crabb. And that's why I thought, well, I may read The Sovereignty of God too to see how that all fits in, because he talks about that. But anyway, Larry Crabb is an author, counselor, Bible teacher, has been called liberal by the conservatives, and yet the conservatives contend to throw out the baby without the bathwater, with the bathwater. I read everything and anything with a grain of salt, because none of us have it correct. None of us have it correct, and only Christ. And so, anyway, I actually got this book, shortly after Don died, from a friend who had lost her husband, and she said, it was so wonderful. Well, I couldn't even get through the first few pages. I stopped and threw it away. It was too painful. There you go. And never thought of it again. And then when my dear friend suggested this while I was in Indiana, I thought, And so I ordered it, started reading it. And I tell you, reading that first chapter was painful. Not as painful, but I had to plow through it. But I thought, I'm going to read through this. I don't know how far, but I'm going to keep moving forward. Well, when I got to the second chapter, and then got to the third chapter, then found out there was a workbook stuff in the back. Oh, now we're talking. So this book has been a game changer for me now. And I'm amazed because you just never know. I don't know why, but I know it is powerful, and it's pushing me to go even further than I ever thought I could. And so what am I saying? I'm saying this book to me has been, of course, painful, unsettling, amazing, teaching me or pushing me to further embrace God and know he clarifies, or I'm further understanding or believing that, and I knew this, but I just further know this, which is really cool to do that. There's lots of wonderful things. There's lots of wonderful things that God ordained, but then they are secondary compared to God himself. And even Matt Chandler in the Song of Solomon was talking about that, how that was from another one that Matt did. I can't think of it, but another series that he did. But the idea is, God's made all these wonderful things, whether it's food, sex, that's what he said, whether it's food, sex, or, I think he even said wine. But the point is, there's these secondary loves, but if we're not careful, we use them for the main source to ease pain, to fill that longing that only God can fill. And so we have to make sure we put God first, and then we don't worship the secondary things. We worship him and then enjoy the secondary things that he has provided us. And I can see for me now, let me just be flat out honest, for me now being single, that is hard. When I was married, having sex and all that stuff, that was much easier. But now being single, and I want to be moral, and I want to be pleasing to the Lord, and I won't jump the gun, or I try not to jump the gun with, moving forward. That's just been this has been something I've been wrestling with. Being happy, just being fulfilled where I am. And so there you go. But I know in the end, I don't want to be foolhardy, because I know it's always greener on the other side. I mean, I have friends that are married now and having a horrible time. So I don't want to make my life harder. As much as I would, this is just for me, as much as I would like to be married, getting married isn't going to provide what I want or what I had. And so I've got to and will follow and do the next right thing in following God, following Jesus. So anyway, I don't know, 11 minutes and 32 seconds. So somehow I just wanted to share this. This book is amazing. I think that's everything, and I've just sort of jabbered her on, and I don't know if people are going to listen to this or not. I hope this makes sense. All right, blessings to you. Have a wonderful day. Next week's Father's Day. Blessings to the fathers out there. And, the biggest thing is we just, we don't lean on your own understanding. Just do the next thing. Ask God to help you, and he will. Will you understand? Probably not. But you do the next thing because we trust him. He loves us more than we understand. He loves us more. Oh, this is good. This is what I used to tell my grief share people. He loves you more than your loved one that you lost loved you in their entire life. That's good. That brings it into a wonderful illustration that at least I can understand. All right. Well, you guys take care, and I hope this helps someone. Blessings to you.